Good afternoon. My name is Eric Scheinkup. I am the co-founder and CEO of the Desire Company. So I know a lot of people here today have products and you always are trying to figure out what's the best way to get my product to the masses. So a celebrity endorsement probably seems like a really good shortcut, a really good way to do that. So the question then becomes, should I do a celebrity endorsement deal? Should I do a celebrity partnership? Should I have a celebrity co-founder? Should I get celebrity investors? The big question is, does any of it even work? And my question with celebrity partnerships has always been, is it anything more than just a billboard? They bring a huge spike of attention, but are they able to educate consumers about the brands and actually create sustainability and value in the long run? And I was asked to facilitate this discussion because my company, the Desire Company, we work with experts. We choose not to work with influencers or celebrities because we really focus on the education of it. But where we fall short is in the reach that celebrities are able to bring. But when all the stars perfectly align, you get celebrities who actually are experts in particular areas. And they're not only able to bring that excitement and that energy and attention to your brand, but they're able to help create the product from the ground up or refine it or help with a go-to-market strategy. And really educate consumers, which is going to increase sales, it's going to reduce returns, and it is going to bring sustainable value to your brand. So with that, I'm going to hand it over for each panelist. These are the people that we have here today who are doing that blend on both sides of the equation. To introduce yourselves, please, and your company, and then we'll jump into it. Carolina.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here with us. And Eric, what a great intro. I'm Carolina Karkova, and I'm a co-founder of Griffin Ivy Rose. We do have our booth here, so please make sure you stop by and try and touch and taste and feel our products. We are a wellness beauty brand for the whole family, so we really kind of focus on the whole family having their wellness beauty routine together. And we really focus high performance products made with a lot of herbs and plants, and have incredible founders and experts who create our formulations based on a lot of Eastern traditional wisdom, how we formulate, and everything is made in the USA.
Hello, I'm Jenny. I'm one of the founders of Source. We are a wellness brand that's based in San Francisco. We make chocolate vitamins to help you look and feel your best. And we relaunched our brand in October of last year with actress Sarah Hyland, and have kind of seen tremendous growth since that point. But really our mission with Source is to democratize wellness and really make vitamins and supplements a really enjoyable experience kind of in your daily routine. And I think the partnerships really brought the brand to life. And I also think it's a really interesting time to be having a conversation about celebrity brands, because I think historically it's been beauty or alcohol brands, and really seeing recently over 200 brands in the past 2 years that have been celebrity backed and founded. So I really love that we're kind of looking at the industry now and really where it can go from here.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Emily DiDonato. I'm a model, influencer, and the co-founder of Covey Skin. Covey is 3 products. We are a simple, effective, clean routine that was formulated to be used together with a partner dermatologist, Dr. Julie Rusak, who's here in New York. Myself and my co-founder launched about a year ago, and I'm super excited to chat all about it with you guys.
My name is Ryan Loopberger. I am not a model, and CEO, co-founder of Clean Cult. We make natural cleaners in milk cartons versus plastic bottles. We're trying to eliminate plastic waste across the household cleaning industry. Partnered with Rachel Zoe, and we launched about 5 years ago. So excited to be here. Thanks for being here today.
Great, thank you. Ryan, let's stick with you and start with you. You have kind of the best of all worlds for a startup, where you have celebrity co-founders, you have celebrity investors. It sounds wonderful. It was clearly by design that way. So if you could share a little bit about the pros and cons of doing that, the influence that comes with that, and how people in the audience might be able to take that approach as well.
Yeah, I think when we started, I think that the key part is we couldn't use a celebrity to prop up the brand, right? So we actually waited about 4 years until we knew the product was right, the brand was right, the value prop was right, the pricing was right, until we really partnered and used it to amplify. So the key piece for us is we had to get it right first and then use our celebrity partners to amplify. We really went two ways with it. So on one side, we had celebrity investors, and it helped us gain credibility, helped with the venture capital, helped with the private equity raises to get awareness in the market. But it didn't amplify the marketing side, right? So it helped with the fundraising. On the other side, we partnered with Rachel Zoe, and that was customer first, right? So she's design icon. So really, we've tried to do it both ways, one for the fundraising piece and one for the amplification piece. And pluses and minuses, right? It's been a long journey, but we feel like we're right at the moment that it started to amplify the brand in the right way. So,
awesome. And Emily, so what I find very interesting about your approach, actually both your and Carolina's approach, is a lot of entrepreneurs come from outside the industry that they're innovating or that they're disrupting, and that's why they're able to do it. As the face of Maybelline for damn near half your life, you've experienced every single product and recommendation under the sun. So what gave you the thought that you were going to step into this market that you know extremely well and actually get involved and disrupt it in the way that you guys are?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like you mentioned, I've been in the industry for over 10 years. I've tried every product, and I think that's exactly why we started Covey, was because I would put every single serum, moisturizer, face mask on my face that anyone ever recommended. Like, I was walking into work with like 50 layers of skincare on my face, but my skin was still struggling. Makeup artists would say to me, like, Emily, what are you doing now? And I'd be like, what do you mean? I'm using La Mer. I'm using this and this and this and this. And it turned out that I realized that less really can be more when it comes to skincare if you're using the right products in the right order that were formulated to be used together. But obviously partnering with the derm, partnering with the right lab to kind of figure out and really revolutionize that 3-step routine was our goal. We think about Clinique's 3-step routine. We kind of wanted to recreate that and create this kind of clean, modernized version of that. But I think because I had come from that school of thought that more was more when it came to beauty, that's why I realized it's actually like, no, that didn't work for me. My co-founder was the exact same way. She used a million products. And we were both like, we love beauty so much, but like, how's this supposed to work? Because both of our skin kind of sucks. So that's how we kind of thought about it.
It's very cool. And then I do want to hear about how do you take that next step and find your co-founder and the labs and all of that. But first, Jenny, you have kind of a fairy tale scenario for a product, a young product, where you, if I understand it right, you sent your product to celebrities and one reached out to you and said, I want to come on board and actually help take this to market. Is that right? And is that repeatable? Is there anything that people here could learn from what you've had success with?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. So we sent, Sarah was one person we reached out to initially. We were seeing a lot of great excitement around the product and really wanted to kind of elevate the brand and had decided we wanted to rebrand and bring on a partner to really tell our story and kind of get in on the ground floor. And I think we really immediately really got to know her, and I think she's been also really open about her wellness and health journey to her audiences, and so it was such a natural connection to what we were doing in the supplement space, and really kind of treating your body and your taste buds is how she talks about it. And I think for us, really, as a new brand, thinking about it in terms of distribution, so media distribution and retail distribution, so important for a digitally native brand like ours. And she was really able to help us, whether it's a conversation with a retailer or with kind of speaking in the media or social media. It's kind of all coming back to distribution, and really that's so challenging right now for a lot of early stage brands. And I think where a celebrity can really come in and, especially at the ground floor, really make a big impact.
It's very cool. And Carolina, over your years of modeling and working with all different types of products and brands, I know that you've been approached to come on board and be involved beyond endorsements, and you decided to create your own. What was that experience like? And people also are going to assume that because you're a celebrity, it's going to be an overnight success. Raising money is going to be easy, but how do you find the right partners to actually bring your idea to life?
Well, I think that's the most important thing is in any company, right? I mean, you know it too as being entrepreneur, is really your partners. And how I got to meet my two other co-founders, Rachel and Orion, it was really organic and natural. I was interested in really doing something that I was passionate about. Definitely wellness and beauty, something I've been very passionate about. I'm from Europe and I grew up, everything was homemade, handmade, fresh. If I had a sore throat or I had a tummy ache, my grandmother will go to her garden and make a tea or potion. That's just the way I grew up. So I've always been into more alternative practices and solutions. I have 3 kids. I did 3 home water births. I breastfed. So I'm very into all these alternative natural practices, acupuncture. I mean, you name it, I try it. I just very curious. And I met my 2 co-founders really organically. One of them is a herbalist who has his herb shop for 25 years in Miami. I was taking my whole family, my children, my father, who just had a knee operation, to him. So I became his customer, but also I got to know him, how he practiced, and learn a little bit more about the herbology. And then my third founder had a premature twins babies. They were half a pound when they were born. And obviously they faced a lot of developmental challenges. They couldn't sleep for a year. They couldn't poop for a year. I mean, any one of you who has children know if your child doesn't sleep for a year, cannot go to the bathroom for a year, that's not fun. And she's never been into more holistic things. That was not something she grew up with, and that was not her go-to. But she really was desperate after a year of trying the more medical route to try anything, and she met Orion and his father, who's also our advisor and formulator of our products, who does Eastern medicine. And after a week of being put on this herbal mix, her children could sleep, they could go to her bathroom, so she saw the power of these natural remedies. And so we kind of all met at the same time. Our husbands met, and we all felt very passionate about this space. We felt like there was a space, wellness for children, not just beauty products, but really bringing wellness to children, but also bringing it to the whole family, where the whole family can do it together, where if you have a child, you can take your vitamin. We have these chocolate hot probiotics, which I recommend if you have time, stop by and try. That your child can have, but you can do together. There's not many wellness or supplements, things that your child and a parent can experience and do together, and which we feel like it's important. Family fun, family well-being together, right? We feel like together it's really important. And what you do, children watch, and they want to do the same. So we really want to do those things. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're celebrity, that everything is going to be automatic success. And I think also the space we're in, dealing with children, it's a little bit trickier. It takes time. You're dealing with children, the most precious things for parents. And that takes time for people to trust you, to give you a chance to try a product. So, for us, it's definitely a lot of education. How does that work? That it's still gentle, that it's safe.
So not necessarily the overnight success.
No. And I don't think it will be good if it was overnight success. Like, it will be, I don't know, I think for me, it's exciting. I think that's how you learn, and that's really where you can create a deep, meaningful brand, because every step of the way you're learning, and you can perfect and do it better. And everything has its pluses and minuses. I like the way we're doing it. We're learning. We're small. We're growing.
That's what it takes.
We have to be creative,
That's yeah. And Emily, for you, I'd assume same thing. People think that it's an overnight success and that you were able to hire up this massive team. So what was it like from the beginning of choosing the right co-founder, choosing the right partners to actually help it, and has funding been as easy as people probably imagine? And how do you find your co-founders?
So my co-founder is actually my best friend, and my husband knew her from college, but we genuinely just got together and like loved beauty so much and would always just like throw out all of our products and be like, what are you using? I bought this. What did you get at Ulta? Like, we were just crazy about beauty. What was your next question?
The labs that you chose, the funding,
all of that.
funding, getting
Yes.
distribution, is it as easy because people recognize you?
Yes, I mean, to an extent, for sure. And I was on all of those calls to like find the right lab and even like finding the right PR or a freelancer who can help you with your design. ilovecreatives.com is an amazing resource. You can find like the most amazing creatives on there, just by the way. But we used a lot of freelancers to help us to launch, from like everything to like PR to designers for email, for everything. Because like myself and my co-founder, that's definitely not my specialty. And she works in digital marketing at Google for over 12 years. So she has a little more knowledge in that space than I do. And then, yes, raising money, of course, like it was important for me. We only did a really small friends and family round to start, but of course it was important for me to be on all those calls and kind of show and prove like I'm not just here to like be like, yay, guess what? We have a celebrity. Like, you really need to leverage the relationships that you have, the experiences that you have, the connections that you have. Like, that's probably the most important thing that I do for the brand.
Awesome. And Jenny and Ryan, so perfect scenario, you now have a brand, a product, you have celebrity involved. How much do they influence or get involved with what you're doing? I know that you're doing a big rebrand right now, and I believe Sarah is kind of leading up that charge. Was that her idea? Was that your idea? How is it working with celebrity?
Yeah, so when we started working with Sarah, we were actually going through a rebrand and kind of took that idea to her and really got her ideas as well. I think what we've seen be incredibly impactful is I have a technology background. My other co-founder has a finance background, and I think actors and musicians are just very creative people, and I think we really tapped into her creative energy and really were able to bring kind of the story of the brand to life, but also kind of simplifying the message and really thinking about how she can really kind of lend that creative energy to our entire business. So whether it's product development for new products that we're launching or with the rebrand, it was so helpful, kind of like thinking of creative agencies, a sounding board for your brand as you're building it. I think that's been one thing that's been amazing about working with her, and I think it's also really great to see her with us on all of our meetings, talking to whether it's buyers or with media opportunities. It's been great to just collaborate and really continue to build the brand story together.
It's awesome. And Ryan, you have powerful voices. You have Kevin Hart. You have a lot of opinions. You have a lot of investors. How much are they influencing your decisions, your go-to-market, your branding, all of that?
Yeah, I think to start, not at all, right? Is that we wanted to get investors involved who fell in love with us from an opportunity perspective, right? So when we started in 2019, we tried to get a big celebrity voice, and it just didn't work, right? We went with talent agencies, and they really pitched it as kind of a long-term partnership, but until the celebrity fell in love with the brand, it meant nothing, right? So first, our celebrity investors were involved purely as investors. They didn't know me. It was a financial transaction because they loved the product, they loved the opportunity. And now after about a year and a half with them, now they're really starting to have a voice. So I think for us, we just didn't rush it. Now they are being more part of decisions. We're doing some co-lines, we're doing some co-branding opportunities, working with retailers. But for the first 2-3 years, I would say it was purely the brand opportunity versus a relationship.
And has that been invited, that conversation? Is that you reaching out and say, okay, now I want you involved? Or is that because you guys developed a relationship and they're now saying, I want to be more involved?
Kevin Hart is not my best friend yet. That's the, I think it's a little bit of both, right? It's celebrities are busy, and I think long term, it's all about the fit, right? So for us, it's been month by month, day by day. We're just starting to trust each other, trust the brand. And I think you can over-paper these relationships, right, and have long, aggressive term sheets and contracts. But in the end, if they like you and you like them, it just becomes very organic. So Rachel and I were working together much more now. But I think at the beginning, we tried to over-paper it, and we need X number of posts a month. We need, Y number of deliverables. We need Z brand by X date. And it just didn't work, right? Because they're people and they want to be involved. So yeah, we're starting to invite that more, and I think it's becoming more organic.
That's great. So celebrities getting involved with brands. This week, Gwyneth Paltrow, one of her investments in Daily Harvest, they had to recall a lentil snack because it could potentially cause liver damage. And that's horrible. The question is, does it have an impact on Gwyneth? And does that take her trust down with her audience at all? And is that something that you guys worry about through endorsements? And then how do you protect yourself against that with your own product so it doesn't affect your career one way or another?
Yeah, I definitely think about that. Like, I do think that, like, your products and what you put out, not only your products, your marketing, your messaging, who you're advertising to, like, I see it as a reflection of me. I don't know the best way to prevent something like that, but all I can say is for myself is that I feel as though I do very much get into the weeds. I'm on all the calls for all of our product development. When there is like one thing, I'm always like, I pull like the thread and I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, can you elaborate on that? Like, I truly feel like I need to understand especially behind our formulations, before I can go out and talk about it, advertise it, share it with other people. But I think like, I feel as though I'm very much like in it, so I understand everything thoroughly, but I don't know if Gwyneth knew about the liver damage thing.
I also think, Daily Harvest is a blue chip consumer company that's worth over $1 billion. And I think as an early stage brand, the stakes are much higher. And so it's really thinking about bringing someone on, like during our process, there's a lot of due diligence on both sides. And I think it's really helpful. And even if it takes a little bit longer to really get to know someone, we had personal connections and investors that knew Sarah personally. And so I think that was amazing, just to speak to her character. But then also on our side, we're a supplement brand, not as regulated as you would think in the industry, but we go kind of above and beyond with our formulations in order to really have that credibility in the industry and really kind of set standards in something like functional food, and really thinking about how consumers think about celebrities, and tying that back to your brand, I think is really, there is a lot at risk, and it definitely takes some time to think about, who the right partner could be for the long term.
Yeah, and that's something that brands have to think about too. Is the celebrity that you're working with actually going to bring value in the long run? Because there's a lot of things out there that happen in celebrities' lives that could be damaging from a marketing perspective with brands. My wife was the global director of brand PR and communications at Coca-Cola, and the first person she signed was Britney Spears, coming off of a multi-year Pepsi deal. And the reason she did that is because Britney Spears kept on getting pictured behind the scenes drinking Coke, even though she was getting paid ridiculous amounts by Pepsi. So that's something that reflected poorly on the brand. And how do you do the due diligence on both ends to know that your product is the right thing that you want to represent and that this celebrity is the right person for you? Because it's very exciting and easy and tempting when a celebrity comes to the table to take their check or to give them some co-founding credit. But it is not as simple as that.
Well, I think that's why it's so important for both sides to really know each other, right? Like if I'm gonna work with a brand, I mean, even speaking today, I did my homework on everybody. Who am I sitting next to? If some of you I know, some of it I don't. Like it's important, like in anything in life, you do your homework, right? Whatever you're doing, and I think especially when you are a celebrity, it's important to do things that are authentic to you, that you truly are passionate about, that you love. Because, if you were getting involved in a brand and it's your brand, you're putting your name out there, we're investing, I mean, to me, it's like, I gotta love it. I gotta love the product, but I gotta like the people I'm working with. And I think those two things to me are super important. I gotta believe in the product, have to like it and use it. And if I'm going also behind the scenes, I gotta like who am I working with, because it's like a relationship. You know, you're developing, you're investing your time in, you're spending away from your own family. So it's really important. And of course for brands too, I think, you know, yes, it's gotta be authentic, it can't just be an agency who suggests. I think sometimes that can work really well, and you have those really creative partnerships, which I'm like, oh, that's really cool, or like, I love that. I love that, because sometimes people don't think outside of the box, and I think that's where it can be interesting. But it's really, there has to be the commitment from the celebrity. If your skin is not in a game, like people know it, then you can feel it. Like your skin's gotta be in a game. Yeah. That's the only way to succeed. I mean, whether you're a celebrity or not a celebrity.
Yeah, 100%. So with the last couple of minutes, starting with Ryan, what recommendations, what advice can you give? I mean, you said you first started with a talent agency, and that was your approach to get to celebrities, and that wasn't the best route for you. So what can be a shortcut to help anybody here who's trying to work in this field?
Yeah, I think we went after it the wrong way first, right? So we go into a 3, 4, 5 months negotiation with a leading talent agency, and 5 months into the negotiation, we have an investor talk directly to the celebrity, and the celebrity had never heard of our brand. So it was 100% basically with the talent agency, and they're trying to get their fee, right? And a little burned by that experience. I think for me personally, just go direct, right? It's build a relationship to start. I think you could take a small check to start. But for us, it was how do you build an organic relationship with them and not go through managers, not go through their consultants, not go through any advertising whatsoever, just directly, because they're people in the end, and that was pretty crucial for us, and it took us quite a while to get to that point.
Emily?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Ryan. I think it's like finding the right partner, a celebrity, influencer, whatever it is. It's a relationship that should be slow, and it needs to be nursed. And I do agree that going directly is definitely the best way to go about it. I'm with IMG Models, and I've definitely had things randomly sent to me to my door. That happens. People get your address, and they're like, and then I get an email like, do you want to invest? I'm like, in what? What are you talking about? Not a good way to go about it. But I actually think what's amazing now with Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be, people's emails are in their bios. Like, you can get directly to them, DM them. I read all of my DMs. I don't know if you do, Carolina, but I do. I just like to see what people are saying. It's a good way to like get in touch with people, and obviously like be thoughtful about what your profile is if you're reaching out on Instagram, and be thoughtful about what the message is. If it looks like spam, you're gonna get ignored. But I get great messages and emails and connections on Instagram all the time.
And Jenny, you clearly went with an agency that was celebrity gifting. What do you recommend? Was that the right path?
Yeah, I think from our perspective, it was really about finding someone that really believed in the brand. And I think what Carolina was talking about in terms of authenticity, I mean, I couldn't agree more with finding someone that uses the product every day, and really kind of making sure that that's happening, and thinking about, how that's actually going to make their job so much easier as an advocate. Thinking about, marketing campaigns and ideas, and really how to bring the product to life and talk about it with their audience. They know how to do that really, really well if they're actually really involved, as well as just a fan of the product and really using it consistently. So we've seen that be really impactful for us. I mean, we launched with Sarah in October of last year, and really quickly we saw over 500 million media impressions from working with her. We were on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and we had a lot of opportunities that really naturally came about, and that really allowed her to continue to use her platform to support us, and a lot more to come with her as well.
And we are out of time, but Carolina, any quick tips for how people could get their product into the right hands of a celebrity?
I do believe in gifting. I think, giving products away to people that maybe wouldn't know about your product, it's important. I mean, like, I already have 10 people, just from waiting to come down here that just had kids, and I'm like, you need to have our products. I think, don't be shy, like, just give it away, get it to the people out there. I mean, I don't think just blindly. I mean, knowing like who would appreciate and like your product, because obviously as a small brand, you don't have products to waste. But I think giving it's important because when you give, you always get back. I'm a big believer of that.
And I think final thought is that celebrities are open to receiving and being part of startups like they never have before. So there's a lot of opportunity in this market to get your product out in meaningful ways, reach the market. It's quicker than ever before. But thank you guys very much, and thank you for the panelists.
Thank
today.
you.
Thanks, everyone.